So today we are going to do a little bit about the solving a linear equation. Solving a linear equation is actually involving a lot of like how do we do the parentheses and how do we get the answer right. It's actually the fundamental way of solving each of the problem. It is also the basic skill for the Algebra 1. So let's take a look. Wait, by solving a linear equation, we actually have like easy question and hard question and all the way to fraction question and the more complicated one. So let's take this couple of things as an example. Like, for example, for the first one, x plus 9 equals 16, right? So in this case, x plus 9 equals 16. Now we want to move the 9 to the right, and then we solve this problem completely. So the way American is using is going to minus the same number or plus the same number on both sides. So in here, we can actually minus 9 on both sides, which means we are getting, oh, x plus 9 and minus 9 just got nothing because 9 minus 9 equals 0. And 16 minus 9, we're getting 7. So the first answer is actually going to be x equals 7. All right. Oh, this is an easy question, and we are saying this one is going to be intro. Next one, if we are having a negative x in front of that, well, we're doing the same thing. First of all, we minus 6 on both sides. But however, we are getting a negative x, so negative x equals to 4. To get rid of negative, we're supposed to divide by or multiply negative 1. So in here, I'm going to use divided by negative 1, divided by negative 1. Yep, negative 1 divided by negative 1 is supposed to get you a 1. Or you can say like negative 1 plus, multiply negative 1 gets you a 1 as well. So eventually you're getting an x on the left, and we're getting a negative 4 on the right. So the final answer is going to be x equals negative 4. Yep, just a couple minutes, you're going to finish that. I'll say less than a couple minutes. Okay, let's see if we're getting a parenthesis. So for example, we get negative in front of the x plus 6. Well, the first thing we do, there will be two ways of doing that. Let's use the weight one. Weight one, we're actually gonna get rid of the negative first. So negative x plus 6 equals 20. I can actually divide it by, sorry, this time I will use the multiply negative 1. Multiply negative 1 on both sides. All right. On the left, we are getting an x plus 6. On the right, we're getting negative 20. Okay, now we just minus 6 on both sides. So getting x equals negative 26. Okay, so that's the first way of doing this kind of question. Well, can I use another way? Well, definitely. Copy, paste. Another way to do that would be, well, wait two. Let's get it a bit lower. It's gonna be, well, this one multiply that one, and this one multiply by that one. This one's called distributive property. Distributive property. Wow, notice that whenever you're doing that, you have to do for both of the things. I mean, both terms inside the parentheses. So you're actually getting negative x minus 6 equals to 20. So you're getting negative x, oh, sorry, I skipped the process again. So we plus 6 on both sides. So we're getting negative x equals to 26. And then we multiply negative 1 once more time because we get negative in front of the x. Now we're getting x equals negative 46, and that should be our final answer. Okay, well, as you can see, either way you're using, you're actually getting the same result. So it doesn't matter about which way you use, choose the one that you're more comfortable with. Okay. Well, on the right corner, I'm going to do the weight 2 first. All right. Let's do weight 2. Actually multiply that one and multiply that one at the same moment. So you're getting at negative x plus x. Okay, this is a really common mistake that a lot of my students just getting a negative 6 minus x. Instead, because you get negative times negative, you're supposed to get a positive x, okay? Supposed to get a positive x. So you get negative 6 plus x equals 10. Okay, now we are doing plus 6 on both sides. In this case, we are getting x equals 16. Well, is that true? Let's switch back to the top. Well, if we're using the first way, week 1, then we divide by, or we're multiplying -1 on both sides. So you're getting a 6 minus x equals to -10. Then we minus 6 on both sides. So you get -x equals -16. Negative and negative. So we're actually changing that to x equals 16. Oh, well, as you can tell, they agree with each other. So that will be the correct answer. Well, if your calculation is actually fast enough, there'll be another way to help you to identify whether your answer is going to be right or wrong, which will be putting a number back in and check whether it's going to be a right answer or not. Okay. For example, for the one on the right, we're saying like, oh, that's what we got. We're getting x equals 16, right? But I don't know whether my answer is going to be right or wrong. So now I'm going to putting the x equals 16 inside. Negative 6 minus 16. What do we get? We agree with each other on the left side and right side. So let's see. 6 minus 16, I simply get a -10 inside. Okay, this will be another common mistake as well. A lot of my students also get, well, -10. You know, it's just like, how? I mean, a positive 10. I mean, like, how? Or someone get 22. Okay, this is a really elementary level school mistake. So try to eliminate your mistake like this. Okay, so you get -10, which means you're getting a 10. See, the one on the left actually have agreeable answer with the one on the right. It definitely equals 10, so which means x equals x equals 16 is going to be the right answer. So this is called the checking process. Check. Well, a lot of my students also use the guess and check process, which will be, well, I don't know what it is, but in here I'm checking about, 7 plus 9 equals 16. So they directly get the answer. Well, which is, I will say this is also a good way as well. But however, whenever you meet a complicated question, it's a little bit hard for you to do the guess and check. You can do the guess and check on the easy question like 7 plus 9 equals 16. But in here, you may probably have a hard time to figure out like what would be the number that ended up to be a -20, right? I may think about 14, but 14 actually give me a -20 instead of 20. So in this case, try to use the complete process and write down the process and get your question right. After you finish that, put it back in so you don't need to worry about your answer. Okay, I believe that's all for today's classes. Oh, I'll see you next time.